Okay, hey guys, we are going to look at this is the learning cybersecurity. So this is like the beginner path intro for cybersecurity. So I want to go ahead and kind of do this with you, and so that way if you run into any issues, you can kind of learn and kind of follow along. So the first thing I'm going to do here is view the site, and this is going to open up a new website. So this looks like it's called Bookface. You're an ethical hacker and it's your job to test for security vulnerabilities on Bookface. Let's look at taking over a user's account. So Bookface lets users have public profiles. If you notice the URL, it's showing a profile username. Let's copy and see if we can reset Ben's password. Okay, so let's copy this. Okay. It's common for attackers to target the password reset functionality, look for issues, and then let them gain access into user accounts. So what we're doing here is we're going to put the username in, so ben.spring, in hopes that we can see maybe a little bit more information about them. Maybe we want to see what his email is, and then see if we can target that email address, or we can get some other demographic information for kind of targeting purposes. So we'll hit reset password. We have sent you an email with a 4-digit code. So Ben might be confused right now, but we could do some social engineering too. We could follow this up with a phone call. If we do get that demographic information, hey, we just noticed in a couple minutes you might get an email, for a password reset. We're reaching out to all the individual users, and we can kind of do that social engineering attack, or we can see about attacking the site in order to get more information. So Ben will be sent an email with a 4-digit code, but we don't have access to his email. I wonder if we can guess the code. There are 10,000 different permutations or combinations of codes we can enter. We could try increasing them by 1, 001, 002, 003, but that will take forever. So let's put some random ones in there. So all zeros, probably not likely, right? And then here's the actual web request that goes in. So reset code equals, and then username equals ben.spring. And there are actually tools out there that you'll learn in this class to help automate this process and makes it so it can just every 1 second do a new permutation. So 1, 2, 3, 4 isn't working. We'll just kind of do a random, very random one. 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, etc., etc. But that's not working. So let's see what it says to do. When submitting the code in the form, your web browser made a web request shown below to Bookface with relevant form data. Click me to break down the web request. So type of web request options can be get, post, or delete. So do you want me to get information from that website? Do you want me to post? So do you want me to put information there? Or do you want me to delete information? And the location to send data to, further explained in the blah, blah, blah in a future lab. It'll talk about that. So next is going to be, what web server are we using? Or I'm sorry, what web browser we're using. So in this case, it's Mozilla 5.0, Chrome 74. That's the user agent. What's the actual website? And the data we are sending to it. So in this case, we are sending the reset code equals 222. Okay, so that's what it is. That's kind of the breakdown of what the request is actually happening. It's not going to be possible to manually guess every code, so let's repeat the code web request we sent earlier. Each time, increase the code value, automating the process using the request repeater below. This process of trying different combinations until one is correct is called brute forcing, a common attack in cybersecurity. Use the brute force tool with code min 1, max 10,000. So we'll do 1 and 10,000. So this is going to brute force, and it's going to enter all those in, and 0187 is the correct one. So there are some things that Bookface could do to stop this. So it would be, limit how often somebody can do the requests, or, if it notices the anomaly of just one account being hit over and over, then you could have it, lock it down. So new code. The answer to the try task me ask is THM brute forcing. So this is what you'll see in the flags as you go through. Try hack me is a flag that looks kind of like this. It'll have the little parentheses on it. That's kind of your, like if you were searching for treasure, this would be the treasure that you would put in there. So click on the view site button. We did that. We learned all about Bookface. What is the username? That was Ben was Ben something. Let's see if this will allow me to go back. Ben Spring. There we go. So again, on TryHackMe, we can see BEN Spring. There is a space there. So, and it sometimes wants exact lettering. So this is Ben.Spring. Let's try that. Haha, correct answer. And then hack the Bookface account, and then we'll paste in our flag there. Bada bing, bada boom. We are halfway done. That says 50%. Woohoo! So network security. Networking is really important to understand cybersecurity, from scanning and identifying who and what is on the network to reviewing network logs to monitor and track what users have been up to will require you to have an understanding of how networks work. So you're not going to have to go super in depth with networking, but I will say that there is a very large return on your investment in that the more time you spend in networking and learning networking concepts, the easier the hacking side, the defending side is going to be for you. So we're going to cover the way this course is laid out. We're going to cover kind of the basics that you need to know, but Network Plus is something I highly recommend that anybody in the IT field or joining the IT or cybersecurity field definitely should go after. Learning the ins and outs and intricacies of DNS and subnetting, those are all things that are just going to make your career so much easier if you have a good foundational understanding of that. So that's my little soapbox, but it is very important. So Complete Beginner Path will walk you through networking concepts and give you enough knowledge to start your cyber career journey. Debatable. Will they say it is enough, but again, the more, the better. How much did the data breach cost Target? So now, how Target got hacked in 2013, and 110 million credit cards were stolen. So it was hacked with the goal. It all started with an air conditioning unit. So they targeted something in the supply chain. Let's see it in action. So everything was on the same network, and this is how a lot of the anytime there is like a control system that can be overheated, so you'd like turn off the sensors to trigger that alarm. If you've ever heard of those, that is because they put those devices on the network, and really those should be on their own separate network, and then you would use either a jump box, which is a dedicated computer to get into that network, or you would only plug in when you absolutely have to. Sometimes, I get it, especially if you're a one-man band, that you want to plug in, those devices just so it's easy to manage from your bed. But you can see here where, Target had those set up. It was a sensor, and that sensor would allow them to monitor source temperatures and control the air conditioning units. But it was also on the same as the tills or the cash registers. So you can see here from the graphic, this meant the attacker could compromise the smart air conditioning unit, which has a built-in computer, and access other machines within the store, such as checkout stills, which were also compromised via the aircon units. To steal customers' credit card information, being on the same network as other machines it's just a bad idea. Very, very bad idea. And even to the point at home, I keep all of my smart devices that have to communicate with the internet to get controlled. So like all the smart light bulbs and stuff, that's all on its totally separate network, and it is firewalled against all of my personal machines. So that's something that you can do as well. The air conditioning units were not directly owned by Target. In fact, they were owned by another third-party company to help Target monitor the store's temperature. If the network had been properly segmented to keep Target's networks and the air conditioning unit machines separate, the attack would have not been so severe. Probably would have happened, but not so severe. $300 million, and that's the amount that Target lost in data breach lawsuits. Scarily, Target was even using a $1.6 million malware detection tool, which was also being used by the CIA and the Pentagon. But the attackers managed to fool the detection by pretending to be a legitimate computer network traffic. So as you learn a little bit more about cybersecurity, you'll understand like what groups are doing this. In this case, this was definitely organized crime if they were able to do something at this high level, in my opinion. So how much did that cost? Looks like 300 million. 300 million. Whoop whoop. That is correct. So again, this is one of those monumental ones, and I think that was right around the time, don't quote me, but either Lowe's or Home Depot had a similar attack. But again, that was a while ago, so I don't remember everything about it. So remember, computers talk to one another, and the more that you understand the concepts of subnetting and segmenting networks, the better off you're going to be. So let's see if we can go to attack 3 and talk a little bit about what's going on here. Why didn't this finish? Oh yes, completed. Okay, learning roadmap. So you are in the pre-security area here now. We are learning the ins and outs of computers before we move on. That's kind of that walk before you crawl. And then from there's two places that you can go. You can go to offensive or really defense. And as far as CompTIA is concerned, this is going to be your Pen Test Plus, where this is going to be your CYSA. I've done both of those. I have both of those certifications. There is a lot of overlap between them, but this one talks a lot more about logs. This is more about the tools and stuff that you would have to use to attack. Also, this is pretty Linux heavy as well. So that's kind of the learning path that will go on. And it's up to you. You know, there's people that love the attacking side, but also, you know, there are the people that like to put up walls and defend. So you have a choice when it comes to cybersecurity. So finish that room very quickly. Super easy one. You shouldn't have had any issues with that. But I did want to kind of talk through it in case you kind of wanted to go side by side. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. You can use the contact form on the website, or if you're in my class, just stop at my desk and ask away. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good one.